My Atlanta Falcons won on Monday Night Football to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're now 7-7 on the season. They get to host the New York Giants, who are really looking forward to the offseason here, as they are probably going to have one of the top 2 picks. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down this Week 16 matchup between the Giants and Falcons. But before we get into that, if you like our content and are also looking forward to the 2025 offseason, hit that subscribe button and tackle that bell to get notified when our videos come out. We have a lot of content coming out here over the next several months leading up to the draft. So while you're at it, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think will win this game and why. Ryan, my Atlanta Falcons, a win is a win at this point in the season. I don't care how it comes. If it means our quarterback has to throw for 112 passing yards and our running back has more total yards than him, then I will take it. Crazy, weird game, I will say. It's like a lot of block punts by our team. Normally, I feel like it's the other way around. Young Hoku missed field goal. That's typical, but he made a couple, which was good. Just he made 2.
No, he made 2. It was at 15. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he just made 2. If he would have made the third one, then it would have been as exciting at the end. But we beat Desmond Ritter, which I don't know. I'll save my thoughts for that. What I was going to say in a second, but want to throw it over you. We were watching the game at the same time, kind of waiting to record this. And does it feel as well like it just seems like teams have just resorted to like, hey, let's just blitz Kirk Cousins because 1, our offensive line can't really block. 2, he's a statue. And 3, we don't really have the playmakers that you really have to worry about, like consistently losing to maybe in man coverage. So I don't know if it seems that way as well, but like, is that your thoughts also?
Yeah, to me, this offense just lacks like a juice element. Like, there's nothing about this offense that I like fear. Like, you have to prepare for Drake London because he can burn you. He is a good receiver. Bijan Robinson is a good running back, and with the way defenses are trending, lighter boxes, his elusiveness can be very tricky to handle. Kyle Pitts has largely been a bust. Darnell Mooney has had a good statistical season, but you and I have talked about kind of how we feel about him just as he's a wide receiver 3. He's a high-end wide receiver 3. I think in my opinion, he's a good complement to a few other guys, but in a featured role, I don't necessarily love him, even though he has had a good year. And so there's just nothing I really fear on this Falcons offense. And as you said, they can't really pass protect right now. They can run block, but they can't really pass protect at the moment. And like they're just struggling. This was a team that I had fairly high hopes for coming in to the year. Like I was saying that they could potentially make a run in the NFC for a playoff spot because that division was weak. You can get home field. Your schedule was relatively easy. And so like for them to be sitting here at 7-7, I think it's a little bit of a disappointment for this team. And they need to build on this significantly, I think, next year to see the results that Falcons fans are hoping for.
Yeah. Well, it's I agree with a lot of the criticisms that people are saying about Kirk Cousins. I'm not like that's not wrong as well. I think I wanted to that. I think it's also very easy to just scapegoat him and like in him not playing well, and he's not. And so I agree with that. But I think we need to improve the offensive line. We have Chris Lindstrom, that's great, but I think you got 2. I think you have 2 liabilities on each side of him: Caleb McGarry, right tackle, Drew Dahlman at center. That's going to be very interesting position, the center position. Very interesting how we address that in the offseason with Drew Dahlman and Ryan Neasel. I don't know. Nasel. Let's call him Ryan Nasel. But both being free agents as well. So how do we want to address that position? I haven't been super impressed with either one. I think we get a lot of pressure up the middle, which when you have a statue of a quarterback in Kirk Cousins, pressure up the middle is kind of a kryptonite, I think, to an overall offense. But then building off of that then as well, it's Drake London is a good receiver. I like him. I think he's going to be a Falcon for a long time. But he also needs some other weapons, though, I think, to make his talents even that much greater. He's not quick enough. He's big, but he's not quick enough, I think, to consistently create his own separation. And you can move, and he's a very good route runner, so you can move him around the line, which is really good. But Darnell Mooney has had some good games, but like Tonight, though, I mean, he had one target. He was 0 for 0. Some of it maybe also might not have been his fault because Falcons could have kind of run all over this Raiders team. But you go look at his performances, it's been very up and down. A lot of his stats are he had 140-plus yards against the Vikings. He had over 100 yards against Tampa Bay in that crazy overtime victory that Kirk Cousins threw for over 100 yards. And other than that, it's just been kind of around 40 to 50 yards a game, like nothing too crazy overall. Ray McLeod has been fun to watch, but it's getting nowhere near the consistency. You want to talk about inconsistency with Darnell Mooney's production. Ray McLeod is the exact same as well. So you think Kyle Pitts, yeah, I think Falcons fans, I think I need to go back and double check. Falcons fans, let me know, did we pick up Pitts' fifth-year option? I think we did at this point, but potentially we can move on from him or draft another tight end or something like that. We just don't have the weapons, I feel, to be a playoff contender. And what really sucks too about it is now our defense is finally playing well. I know it's just the Raiders, but show you how bad we were playing earlier. We had 10 sacks going into our bye. Through 3 games, we have 13 post our bye. So it's like we're actually getting pressure on the quarterback. We're actually getting tackles for loss. We're actually stopping the run. We've only given up just over 200 rushing yards during these 3 games as well. Half of that was against the Minnesota Vikings, thanks to Aaron Jones. So maybe it's a little bit of an outlier, but not a little bit. It is, but defense is kind of going in the right direction. But it's offensively though, it just seems like teams would be like, "Hey, Kirk Cousins can't move, so let's just blitz him that much." And I did crack up a little bit. Kirk Cousins had the one little scramble for like 3 yards or something like that. And like you have Darren Orlovsky be like, this is what like Cousins needs to do. You know, like when you bring the pressure, the gap opens up the middle and like he can, like Cousins said, he's going to go and run. Be like defenses would love for Kirk Cousins like to go and run. Like for me, it's like that's not going to be our strong suit is Kirk Cousins running. And so we're going to have to deal with it over these next couple of games. With this one here, for the Giants, the biggest issue is just going to be shutting down Malik Neighbors. He is really their only guy. He's going to have a 1,000-yard receiving season, which is actually kind of remarkable considering the quarterback situation there. And he even missed 3 games, 2 or 3 games, I believe. And so that's going to be a really fun matchup to watch A.J. Terrell go up against Malik Neighbors. Other than that, I think our defensive line, I can't believe I'm saying this, I think our defensive line is going to dominate the Giants' offensive line. We're going to shut down the running game as well. Tommy DeVito, I'm pretty sure Tommy DeVito actually did end up getting hurt. So even better news for us is Tim Boyle is probably going to be the starting quarterback, which I think is wild to think about. You go look at Tim Boyle's career because I don't think he's had a winning record.
No, at any level of football.
Yeah. And I actually don't know when the last time he won a game. I need to go back and look.
I mean, my thing is the only hope that the Giants have in this game is if they could somehow get after Kirk Cousins and score points on defense. I think that's the only hope they have, because I think you look your tackles and their edge rushers, like that's probably one of the only few matchups that I really favor them in is Kayvon Thibodeaux and Brian Burns against your tackles. So that for me, I think is going to be really big if they can get pressure there on Kirk Cousins.
Right. Sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say that's going to be a fun matchup as well. Talk about Bijan Robinson. He's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher this year. So how is our offensive line, who they are doing a good job run blocking, pass blocking has been poor.
I would say I would be much more concerned for your Falcons if Dexter Lawrence was healthy, but he is out for the rest of the season. So that is a big bode for you guys there in the middle to not have to be blocking him. So I like all in all, I think we're both taking the Falcons. I like them in this matchup. The Giants are bottom of the league in a lot of categories, just due to injuries, lack of talent right now, and So we'll see like what the Giants' future holds. I don't think Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll make it through this year, but
for that, I thought about that a lot. You can make an argument for Daboll and Schoen because they had a decision to make, and you're going to make wrong decisions. But they had a decision to make to franchise tag Daniel Jones and then sign Saquon Barkley, and they did it. And now both guys are off the team. And so, but I think they have something in Malik Neighbors. I think this this defensive front is something you can maybe kind of hang your hat on. Like they've been playing well these past couple of years. And even too, Brian Dable has shown like in that first year that he was there with Daniel Jones, like he can with subpar talent, like create an offensive team. I think that could perform well. You just had last year, Daniel Jones got hurt, not saying that he was going to have a good year anyways. And so things were very up and down as well. This year, Daniel Jones did fall off the face of the earth. Like to Brian Dable's defense, if you're scheming guys over or guys are open and then the quarterback is just consistently making the wrong read, the biggest one, like Daniel Jones' last game in Munich against Carolina Panthers, like it's hard to keep defending Daniel Jones when they have a highlight reel of missed throws in the same game as well, like in that game's going on. And so it's like, if you're Brian Dable, like what more can you do in that instance? Like if there are guys open, but the players are just playing horribly, they'll probably fire him. They'll probably want to bring somebody else in. But at the same time, though, for the defense of Brian Dable, it's he wasn't handed that quarterback. He was able to be somewhat successful when Daniel Jones was playing decently well. In that 2022 team, a lot of people are, if you remember, Giants fans probably remember, but they were decimated at the receiver room that year. And they still made the playoffs. They were still a tough team, went to Minnesota and beat Kirk Cousins and then this Minnesota team. So there were some good things about this team, and that was just 2 years ago. So we'll have to see, though. That will be a very interesting one. That could be a Black Monday firing that I wouldn't be surprised by, but at the same time, though, I also think I could see why they would want to keep them, because I don't think he's been the issue.
I agree with that. I selfishly want them to fire him so the Patriots can fire Gerard Mayo and then bring in Mike Vrabel and Brian Dable. I would love that. Like that would be awesome. But I agree. I think he's a fantastic offensive mind. I just don't know, like you get these like good offensive minds, and it's like I just don't know if he's can like truly lead a team. Like can he did it the 1 year where like maybe they struck lightning in a bottle with Daniel Jones and they won that playoff game. But like, can you do it year after year and solidify and start a culture like the Lions, like Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, where they're doing this multiple years in a row of finding success. Mike Tomlin is another example, especially finding success when maybe your talent suggests that you can't get to that level.
Yeah.
And still finding ways to go out and win football games. And that, to me, I think Giants ownership might move on. But we'll see. That's one of the more intriguing head coaching and GM spots in the NFL as we move into this offseason. If they're not fired in this offseason, that they're up there as the hottest
they're
seat,
on the hottest seats. Yeah.
In 2025. So him, like Kevin Stefanski, the Patriots organization that was already mentioned. So let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. It is the way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the New York Giants? Will it be the Atlanta Falcons? Other than that, we will see you guys next time.